Okay, a couple things. I know there were certain guys you didn't see out there tonight. Longa, Martin, and Hicks. We expect to have them back on Monday. Terzilli, Johnson, Barnwell, Boggs, and Hamilton. We expect to have them back midweek. So, although we weren't at 100% today, and maybe not tomorrow, I feel pretty good that we'll be close to it by the time we really start game prep for Washington State. I thought there were some really good things tonight. I thought Chris Laviano really took advantage of the time that he's had now as the backup quarterback. I think you could see that. I thought he was pretty sharp this evening. The PJ and Desmond both did some good things in the run game. And on defense, I thought Sebastian Joseph really showed up tonight. The night where Darius didn't go, I said to him in stretch, this is a great opportunity for you. And I thought he took advantage of it. So with that, we'll have to watch the film. But questions?
Kyle, do you attribute Laviano more to, and maybe it's 50-50, but more to the increased reps, or is there something to, he's got his position on the team now, he's not fighting anymore confidence-wise?
I don't know that he was fighting confidence-wise. I'm not sure about that. I do think the increased reps help. And tonight he had some snaps with the first offense. I think when you're with the first group, it's a little bit cleaner usually, so I think that helps too.
What did you think overall of the cornerback play?
I have to look at it on film. I know we made some plays in the past game, but we had some stops too. So, I think we got to look at it, and more importantly than looking at it in a big picture sense, I think we got to look at each individual and see how they played and make sure we got the best players on the field.
How about Goodwin? Did you see anything out of him?
I wasn't watching him. I was behind the offense for the most part, so really tough for me to evaluate it. I really think that one I'd rather reserve comment on.
What was it like for you to see Paul James break free on that? Because we really haven't seen him take a lot of contact, right? In a situation like that at the goal line.
Yeah, I think it's a great reminder of what he is, and he's a big back, but he can run, and it would have been nice if he got in the end zone, but the reality is it was coming back anyway. We had a sideline penalty, which is a point of emphasis this year in college football, and everybody's got to be out of the white, and it's one of those. It's a great teachable moment. It's not something I'm happy about, but I think it's definitely a teachable moment in the scrimmage.
Kyle, with all the kids you mentioned that sat out, you never want kids sitting out, but so many other guys get an opportunity to go with the ones or twos. How did you look at it from that standpoint?
I think that's an important part of training camp. I think sometimes, whether they're sitting out because they're a little dinged up, or you put a guy who's with the twos in there with the ones, and even tonight we did a lot of ones versus twos. I think it's important that you see how those players react, because those backups, when they go in the game, they're responsible to be the starter, and they're surrounded by starters. So it gives you a great gauge, I think, of where some of those play. A guy like L.J. Liston, we're going to have a great evaluation of him on film. A guy like Sebastian Joseph, because from my vantage point, I thought he had a really nice scrimmage tonight. Now we'll see if I'm correct when we look at it.
Is he becoming more consistent?
Agadoski? Yeah. I think that's the key word. Tonight he was consistent. Now, on Monday when we come back, he's got to be consistent. I think that's the important thing. It's not so much doing it one night, it's doing it day after day after day. But I'm excited about what he did tonight.
Were there had too many big plays for you, or do you enjoy that?
Well, I think for every positive, you can look at it as a positive or you can look at it as a negative. I think, part of what we're doing right now with everybody playing is we're getting a little bit of an idea of where we're at. So now as we go forward, we'll tighten up the game plan, we'll tighten up the personnel groups, and the players that earn the right to be out there are going to be out there. And then when you play an opponent, you hopefully can limit some of those.
What about special teams? What are your thoughts on that?
I thought Joe Roth hit it pretty good. Kyle, I think, made all his kicks tonight, which was good to see that coming off the not so great performance in the first scrimmage. And I thought Timmy Gleason, dropped one inside the 10-yard line, which we think he's got a pretty good knack for. So as we go forward, right now I would tell you we'd use both punters, in different situations. If that shakes out differently over the next week, it could change. But if we were playing tomorrow, we'd use them both.
How about the offensive line, Kyle? Do you see any depth? Second team guys, anyone flash, anyone emerge?
I think Dorian Miller continues to come on. He played with the first team tonight, and I did not notice him. So that's a good thing, for a young offensive lineman. JJ got some snaps with the ones. I thought he did a pretty good job. So I think those two guys are helping us build some depth.
In terms of your offensive line, do you have philosophy that you'll go with in case you need someone to step up? Will it be a next man up? Will it be based on position? Or is one guy sticking out that you put at tackle or guard regardless?
Right now, more likely to be by position than next man up. I don't think we have a true sixth man in this group right now. So if you ask me for the answer today, I'd say it'd be by position.
Carl, when do you really jump all the way into Washington State?
Wednesday. This Wednesday. We've got really 2 more days on Monday and Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we'll dive into Washington State full steam and go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll be off Saturday, and we'll come back and start game week.
Have you done
The coaches have done it. We haven't done it with the players, but the coaches have done all the game plans, and we're checking over those now in our free time when we're away from the players.